Welcome to Screencast.
Fuck
no,
Tim.
no,
Fuck
no.
Tim. Fuck Tim.
God
Fuck
damn
Tim.
it.
Fuck Tim.
Cut their mics! Cut their mics! Welcome to Screencast, Kind of Funny's only entertainment-based podcast where we come together and talk about movies, TV shows, and streaming services.
You know what? Sometimes people probably think we're assholes. You ever think about that?
Sometimes.
Sure.
Sometimes.
Then I was like, that's an inside joke that we were totally goofing off about. And now we just started the
But
podcast.
the inside joke was like, hey, fuck Tim.
You're right.
It's not like complex.
No, I know.
right,
It's a
Kevin.
good point. It's a good point.
Word layers.
Sometimes I like to think I'm a genius, but then people will say my stuff back to me. I'm like, wow, I'm a third grader.
You are
I am
absolutely
a
right.
third grader.
Booyah.
Booyah.
This show is recorded weekly after Games Daily at some point. You could catch us live on twitch.tv/kindafunnyvids. Is that right? Games. No, I hate this. If you don't have time to watch us live, you can catch us as a VOD at youtube.com/kindafunny or Rooster Teeth.
Guys, I'll tell you right now, if you're listening to this in your car, just pull over because your sides are going to hurt with laughter.
This is why Kevin has multiple times pulled me aside and said, this is why I don't want you on Screencast.
I have.
Fuck around, and then when your Greg's there, you guys rile each other up.
Daddy and baby love each other.
There's a show within a show, Kevin. There's a separate show happening. For example, Greg just leaned over and said, I've been asked to pass along a message. Booyah.
That's pretty funny. You got me, Nick. That was pretty funny. If you don't want to watch us, you could go to any of your favorite podcast streaming services and listen to us there. If we're not on there, let Tim know and he'll fix that eventually. Yeah. If you want to help support this madness, you go to patreon.com/kindafunny and support at any tier you want there. The bronze tier gets you to access to answer some of our questions we throw at you.
That's close.
Yeah,
I think they
yeah,
ask
yeah,
questions more
yeah.
than we ask them, right?
Sure. Well, answer. I said answer, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, he asked in this show. He asked the questions. They answer it.
I never watched
Oh, yeah.
And
At
his
the
shows,
end of the show, I'm
they
like,
answer questions.
hey, did you like, what are we watching next week?
You hungry?
No. Hold on.
You eat?
I got it written down here somewhere.
Oh.
Hold on. Quiet Place.
Gotcha.
Oh.
Let's talk about Quiet Place because that's
Got
what
it.
we're talking about next week. That's a big
Gotcha,
topic
gotcha,
for next
gotcha.
week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's the big topic this week?
I'll tell you in a second. Let's go for
Okay.
some housekeeping first. You can go to kindoffunny.com store and check out new stuff like the PS I Love You sweater and the Super Porty shirt that I'm wearing right now. It's great. Special shout outs to Patreon producer Mohammed.
Momo.
Mo Square.
The greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm. Justin Toff.
Vote for Toft.
Why?
Toff never goes soft.
Shake that laughy Tofty.
That was his joke yesterday.
Das Bear Jew.
That was the joke at DBJ.
Thank you. Blackjack.
BJ. BJR. Blackjack Razak.
Jared Brown.
Downtown Jared Brown.
All right. Special shout outs this
Greg just hit his
episode.
breaking point with that one.
When I thought it was off the top of your head, it was amazing. even though it's a reused
No,
one,
it's a
that's
reused
great.
one.
He said it
Yeah, for
yesterday.
He wasn't on that show. I don't
Yeah,
think.
he wasn't on this show. No, he hasn't heard it.
podcast?
No,
It's
what's
funny
podcast?
because they got the exact opposite reaction yesterday. Where we all just went silent and looked at him and we're like, "That's not funny."
That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
All right, special shout outs. God damn it. Hold it together. Special shout outs to one Prince Jackson for sending all the major changes between the book and the show,
Oh, sweet.
which I've condensed
cool.
in here.
I'm excited for that.
Prince has a podcast that has featured Cool Greg and Paula all about scary movies called Good Night Life. That's night with a K. So if you want to go check out some stuff. He's so knowledgeable about scary
I'll
movies.
never be on that fucking podcast, dude.
Well, you can go on there and talk about how you're scared of scary movies.
It just becomes like a lifestyle podcast.
This show is brought to you by our sponsor, Upstart Manscaped and Indochino, but more about that later. Now, let me ask you guys, have you guys been watching anything recently?
Last night I watched Red Sun.
The animated movie,
animated
right?
Yeah, the DC animated
Superman
movie.
Red Sun.
Good
Superman
stuff?
Red Sun, thank you. You know, the DC animated movies have been a little hit or miss for me lately, but this one fucking definitely hits. The last couple I watched,
Where's it available?
Everywhere.
You can buy it physically. You can
Probably
get it on
Voodoo,
Amazon.
too.
Yeah, I don't know if
get
you
it
can
on
rent
Voodoo's.
yet, but I think you can buy
So
it
I'm gonna look into
across
it.
the board.
Nice.
it's one of those nice reminders that man, that fucking team knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
This one, I mean, obviously based on a comic book, I have to assume. I think Greg said he read it.
It
So
is, yeah.
that makes sense. Really cool story. It's the idea of what would happen if Superman were born in Russia, and how would that
Yeah,
look?
he
and how would
landed
that,
there rather than Smallville.
Excuse me, not born, landed there. I'm a fucking idiot. And it goes, loosely through the ages of, starting in I want to say early 50s or late 40s, early 50s, and then it goes through the eras all the way up to like the 80s of like what the geopolitics would look like if that power balance were over in Russia, and then how would it counterbalance over the United States. And it's a really, really cool, really, really fun story, like a nice way to turn the Superman yarn on its side.
That's good to know.
So to
I've
speak.
been looking for some sort of DC animated show.
Yeah.
I remember when we were doing DCEU, I was like, all right, guys, we're talking a lot of shit about these movies, but what are actually good animated ones that I haven't seen in a while?
It's one of those things where like there's
a bit of 'em.
no fucking way they'll ever get there. But if DC had their shit together and they could make movie after movie after movie, and this was like the 25th movie they made where they're like, we're just gonna do a quick one-off 2.5 hour long what if of this, it would be unbelievably cool. But doing this in live action, I don't think it's ever gonna happen.
Is it a more of an adult show? Is it
Oh,
more
yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. This is, they have people smoking cigarettes in it. There are people that explode in it. It's definitely
Bad words?
no bad words, but definitely enough of
Russian cuss
adult
words?
themes and materials where you would think, hey, if I was watching this with my kid, I'd be like, we're gonna turn this off, and Dad's
it.
gonna watch this later. This is not for kids.
You don't think they'll do? That was one of the things remember when Joker got optioned originally, they were talking about that Red Sun was floating around as well.
It would be amazing if they did.
Red
It
But,
would be such a cool one.
They just need to move right on.
I just feel like
which
audiences
direction they
would.
wanna
I
go
think
with it.
general audiences would be super confused.
Yeah.
They would,
I think we're far enough from that where it's like the Joker. I feel like 10 years ago they couldn't have done because it would be like, wait, is this connected to the other? I mean, there is still a little bit of that, but people just don't seem to care.
Yeah,
DC
but Joker
sucks.
was still sort of
cinematically.
Joker was still in the world of Joker. Like it was still. It still felt like, hey, this is a Joker tale, right? It wasn't like Joker all of a sudden.
You
was
knew
a
the
good
basics.
Guy.
You knew
Yeah.
Gotham. You knew
Joker,
the
bad
Waynes.
guy,
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
Gotham, crazy. Like we're still rooted in the foundation of what makes Joker Joker. All it was we're taking a step back and seeing how he got to that point. This is a fundamental break in who Superman is.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool, interesting concept of like what would he be like if he were indoctrinated into sort of the Russian
Cold
like
War
Stalin
era.
is his
Yeah.
dad for all intents and purposes.
Right.
The Cold War era, how would that play? Is he still a good person? Is it nature versus nurture? All
Right,
that stuff
right,
is
right.
cool. I just feel like they need to.
Is the
we
ending
would-
really trippy? Okay.
It's yes.
Sometimes they change some stuff when they do these.
But you didn't even know it was a comic, so you don't even know.
Yeah.
Well, I knew I'd heard you talk about it being a comic back
Yeah,
then, but
yeah.
I never read. I don't know how.
No,
it
but
ends.
I just want to know. Like, I think from your response, it sounds like the ending is the same as the comic.
It's
and
a-
like that's
it's-
one of my favorite parts.
It's definitely not what you would expect from a lot of the characters, and I think that's what's really cool about it too. Is like
Definitely.
it looks at it from a what would the characters need to be if suddenly Superman was seen as a bad guy? Well, then how would that pendulum swing the other side? Like, what would we as America be willing to like do to fight that? How, would it destroy our civilization or would it make us better? And that's what it's kind of cool. It's a really, really cool look at that. And I think it's honestly a great exercise in like good storytelling of like maybe make the bad guy the most powerful person and see how everyone else has to react to that. That's the most interesting aspect of this for me. It's not that Superman has to then suddenly change and be like, oh my God, I'm suddenly good and I'm pro-America. It's how does America deal with that throughout the presidencies of starting with going up to Kennedy, and I forget who was before Kennedy, but like Kennedy, and then you're seeing like kind of Reagan, but not really.
Eisenhower, right?
Eisenhower was before that, yeah. And then what's the plan to take this out? Because it's not like you can just do this overnight, right? You've got this guy, you have to figure out who he is, what his weaknesses are, how to change obviously an entire country's perspective on him and his perspective on his country.
How to
and
open
our
up a
country.
dialogue. Sort of
Yeah,
thing.
like because it plays more into the grandioseness of like, you know, you have America versus Russia, and then add to that, what if Russia had the ultimate weapon, and then how would America react? It's very, very cool. I'm trying to talk in vague terms because I don't want to spoil any of it for you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch that. I
It's
sent it
very
home
well
with you
done.
last night. We got our press copy. I sent
is there a
it home with
voodoo
you.
code in there?
There's there's
You
that
can take the-
downloadable code.
Let me
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
that.
you
Let
can
me
take.
get
I mean,
that.
there's the 3 discs, right? There's the Ultra HD, the Blu-ray, and the Voodoo code downloadable.
Yeah, the voodoo code I can put in there.
Take it. It's
I
cool.
can watch it.
I started watching Devs.
Oh, what do you think of that?
Devs, D-E-V-S?
DEVS, yeah.
Never
New
heard of
show
it.
on Hulu. It's from Alex Garland, who
Did Ex Machina?
Ex Machina and Annihilation. It
Annihilation.
takes place in Silicon Valley. It is a
Is it a comedy?
no. It's very serious.
all right.
I hear Silicon Valley. I just want to giggle.
No, but
Well, yeah, but like the movies he's made are
Ron
very-
Swanson. What's God? I'm losing the
Nick
name.
Offerman?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Nick
rather?
Offerman. Yeah, Nick Offerman is a kind of the head chief, kind of genius guy at some really cutting edge future tech startup in Silicon Valley. It feels like it takes place maybe 20 years in the future, but they all work at a
Are
company.
their phones cool? Like, do they look futuristic?
I don't really know if I've seen a phone.
Okay.
If,
They-
if
they've
20
got,
years
like-
from now we still have phones, I'll be so disappointed.
You think
but-
so?
What do you want them to be?
I want that
Watch
shit to
wristlets?
be in me.
Yeah.
I want to be able.
Chip-
I want to be able to just think a text, a nasty text. to one of you guys
No,
and have it
you know
just
how
pop
many
up.
nasty texts we'd all be getting?
Oh my gosh. It would
Yeah.
be a string of
We would all have to
consciousness,
block you, and you will get really depressed.
You know what? I'm backtracking on this now because I don't know how I'd take the picture of myself if it was in my brain.
Yeah.
Mirrors?
Mirror done.
Yeah.
That's true.
Couldn't you just imagine yourself? Imagine a photo of
It would
yourself
just
really
be
close?
you guys would be like, why does he keep sending me pictures of Chris Hemsworth?
Anyway, it's a trippy sort of murder mystery, but it's just really well shot, and
What's it
it's
on again?
freaky as
Amazon?
hell. It's on Hulu.
Hulu.
But it's FX on Hulu. It's kind of like one of those weird deals.
I don't like that.
What? Why? What?
Pick a lane.
Pick a fucking line.
Pick a
So
lane.
it's a weekly release thing? It's not a binge?
I think so because they were on episode 4 already.
Okay.
I am done with episode 1, but it's shot really cool. The characters are interesting. It's essentially a couple who work at this really futuristic company called Amaya, and you could tell it's one of those sort of all-encompassing
Yeah.
companies that has their hands in everything, and it's all like quantum tech and shit like that. But essentially, there's it's a couple. It's a Chinese woman and a Russian guy. And the guy Sergey has created like some intense technology, some really really cool shit. And Nick Offerman's like, I want you to join the devs team. And he's like, starts crying. He's like, are you serious? Yeah. So devs is like the highest branch
Yeah.
or whatever.
Cool.
And then when he walks in and sees what the offices are like, it's like, what the fuck is this place? And Nick Offerman's like, sit down. This will be your terminal. And he's like, well, I don't know what my job is. And he's like, you'll figure it out. You'll find out. And
I'd be like, nope.
And he's like, I don't know. And so he sits down. And he's just looking at code, and it's just really trippy and fucked up and weird. And
Man, you're making me really want to watch this.
it's really cool, Kev. I mean, it's
Yeah?
Alex Garland. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
knows
yeah.
how to make the
weird,
user
fucking
kind of be
crazy shit.
confused, but then ultimately maybe some of those questions will be answered.
I like how you called the viewer the user. Like we're in.
Oh, did I
Tron.
say the user?
Yeah,
my
that's cool
bad.
though.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's intriguing as hell. After the first episode, I'm like, okay, I'm totally in. I hope
Interesting.
it's not too scary.
I
Because
wanna watch this now.
Annihilation was like really fucking.
Oh, Annihilation was
yeah.
terrifying,
Yeah.
but cool.
Terrifyingly
The ending
boring.
is trippy.
I loved it.
You thought it was boring?
Natalie Portman one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought it was
did not like
great.
that one.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah, I was bored.
I like it.
Saw it in theater and everything.
Ex Machina is great.
Ex Machina is good. as
Love
well.
Ex Machina.
Yeah,
But-
that was the movie that gave us Oscar Isaac.
Again, I
And
haven't.
Huxley.
It's true.
Again, let me
And
clarify.
General Huxley.
Still haven't seen Annihilation. I just know that it's scary.
It's on
I
Netflix.
think it's on Netflix. You should watch it.
I don't want to.
It's
Scarily
really. It's
boring.
not
It's
scary.
not scary. It's just
It's just-
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's unsettling.
Yeah, there's not a lot of like jump scares. There are a couple though.
Thank you, Kev. Yeah, I highly recommend Devs. It's on Hulu, and it's.
So would you say it's like
seems
deep
really
sci-fi?
intriguing. I mean, I'd say it's less sci-fi and more of just a character piece.
Okay.
You know, but it takes place in this future sci-fi kind of future-ish world. Not really. There's not flying cars and like crazy shit. Like it looks like San Francisco.
So just the near future. World.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Cool.
But this company, Amaya, is essentially like, you know how Google created Alphabet, and Alphabet owns Google and other shit. Like it just seems like this giant tech firm that
conglomerate.
doesn't really have boundaries on what they can do.
Right.
And Nick Offerman sort of plays this genius character, and you know, it's not comedic. He's just a very weird sort of hippie genius guy, and it's fucking
No, I want
fascinating
to watch
so
this.
far.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. You sold me on it.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. Kev, what you been watching?
Just the homework stuff. Yeah. I mean, Paula's been watching Love Is Blind on Netflix.
Love is Blind. That was on my list of things I've watched.
I got like 3 episodes in, and I was like, man, fuck this. That lady's so mean to this guy.
Yep, Mark.
I'm done.
Poor Mark. Jessica and Mark. What a terrible relationship.
Yeah, what a terrible relationship. And it's just sad because he cares about. It seems like he cares about her a lot.
He does.
And she does not
But
give a shit.
there's a 10-year age difference. Shut up, Jessica.
Yeah.
Shut
But
up.
it's not even that. You clearly like this other guy.
Totally.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I've seen so many memes about this 10-year relationship gap woman.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to watch a show.
You
Nor
don't.
do I want to.
I just feel like I hate people, and this would
Sure,
make me hate
sure,
people even more.
yeah.
It was
I
that.
feel like reality shows always just find the worst possible human beings to put in a room
They
together.
got a lot of good people this time around. No, they're not all horrible people.
Are there
This
some-
is like your first reality show, isn't it? Well, since like Road Rules.
Yeah,
and
in a
shit.
long time. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. And that's the thing is like I don't get into reality shows often. Like
You
if
didn't
not
watch
ever.
The Circle?
No.
The Circle, they got a lot of fun people.
Yeah. But so like this one was like, you know how The Bachelor's like an infection around here with Joey and
I
Tim
like
and
it.
Gia and all
Disgusting.
them all super into it and talking about it like we should know it. This was, you know, the reason Netflix is so successful with this binge stuff, right? Is that we started episode 1 because we needed something to watch with dinner, and like we were making fun of it when we started it, and then by the end of it, it was like, fuck,
You're invested.
I'm so in, and
Yeah.
I think we did it. We got there late, so we still had the last week of the event going on, not including the reunion show that just posted this week, and so binge watched it all, like, you know, on a Friday into Saturday, and we're done, and then waiting for the finale, and then caught up the reunion show this week and stuff. Love that show, great stuff. The one I want to toss out though, because I know I've seen a lot of stuff, catching up on stuff you guys have seen, where the homework, obviously the Outsider is the main thing I've been watching. Went and saw Uncut Gems finally, saw Knives Out finally.
What'd you think of Uncut Gems?
Oh, great.
Fucking
Amazing,
crazy, right?
amazing. Yeah, it was totally.
I can't believe that it got snubbed as hard as it did for
Everything.
Oscars.
Yeah, exactly. No, that movie was incredible, and
watch it.
it's exactly what
So
everybody
good.
talks about of how tense it is, and like for sure we felt that where we started it. Jen was like, "I've had a long day, can we start something?" Started that, and I was like, "Hey, this is tense." She's like, "No." Halfway through, she's like, "You got to stop. I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Like I'm already jacked up from a rough day of work. Now this on top."
Yeah,
of it, right?
buddy.
Loved it. Watched it over a couple things. Went and saw The Invisible Man. I know we've talked about that here
What'd you
already.
think of that?
I liked it. I thought it was the normal thing where, you know, I think
Was it
Would've
like
been-
Get Out level? Like
Would have been
No,
better
no.
with Kevin
God,
Bacon.
no.
Yeah,
that's
right.
the thing. And honestly, fucked him because he came in. He's like, dude, I know you and Jen love horror movies. You got to go see The Invisible Man. The trailers don't even give you a hint of what the movie is. I was like, holy fuck, shit, really? And then I'm watching the movie and I'm like, what? This is exactly what the trailer
Yeah,
said.
I didn't
Like, when is it gonna
understand
go?
that.
When's it gonna go off the rails and crazy? But the movie I actually want to talk about, horror
Wait,
movie.
real quick. I actually, because I wasn't on the episode where they did Invisible Man, I wasn't a huge fan. I thought it was fine.
I liked it.
I'd say it was like a 6.5 in my kind of thing.
I'd be-
where
yeah,
it's like,
fair.
it's fine. I thought there were a couple like moments of like, why is this dude so incredibly strong?
Yeah,
You know,
of
and it's
course.
one of those moments for me break it. Also,
X-Men.
Invisible. When you lose the ability for
I
people to see
was
you, you get
invisible.
another sense, which is
Yeah.
strength.
that's not how that works. But all right,
Strength, not a
you
sense?
get another sense, which is strength. But losing the ability to be seen is not a sense.
Yeah.
we haven't
It's
tested it yet. We
Holy
don't know.
shit.
We haven't tested it yet. We don't know. We don't know.
Who's this
Doctor.
Who's this celebrity in here,
Dr.
man?
Feelgood just came in.
He's about to come in and sign
You
us to a
could come
10-year
in.
He'll
deal.
walk
Come in
through.
Why
so
are
they
you
can
wearing
see you.
so much 100
Say
D?
hi.
Because they
stuff
send him
right
free
now?
shit, so
Do
Snowbike
they?
Mike has
That
to wear it all the
fucking
time.
Jacket is
Look at this celebrity.
obnoxious.
Good lord.
Get that, take that jacket
Snowbike
off.
Mike, I want you to walk into the San Antonio Spurs front office and you say, you know what, my guy, he's deserves a 7-year deal, super max contract. You know, it looks like he's an agent. I love it.
Great.
What's
Looking
up,
great.
Screencast? You guys are looking great. It's great to be here. Gotta get in the background. I want to watch.
You look like you got.
Alright.
You look like you just got done working out, but you didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that 100%.
All right, Miller. Sorry, what movie were you?
The
excited
Lodge.
about?
I went and saw The Lodge. Sight
Oh.
What is
unseen.
The Lodge?
Lodge is a horror movie starring Elvis
Oh.
Presley's granddaughter.
Ryan Keough, Riley Keough.
Yeah.
And she's the one that goes with the kids, and the
Yeah.
guy's like, "We gotta
Yeah,
go
yeah, yeah.
somewhere."
Yeah,
and then she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Don't leave with his kids." And I'm already right there. I'm like, I can't watch this because
Yeah.
that's my nightmare.
Yeah. No,
being
it's
left with someone else's kids.
I think I saw that it's the way I like to see movies where there's a new horror movie. All right, let's go out and let's go see it and know nothing about it.
Yeah.
And so I thought but not knowing anything about it, I thought it might even be like just subtitled from another language or whatever. But it wasn't. It's got Riley in it.
Riley
And so
Keough.
like, oh yeah, the girl from the Girlfriend Experiment. Okay, cool. So like coming in, sitting
good.
down and seeing
Season one
that,
is
like
great.
not knowing anything, I thought it got points, whereas Invisible Man lost points. Where like The Lodge was, it's a horror movie. So like when you leave, and Jen and I were talking about it, it was like that was really cool. But there's like two. But if that's how it ends, What about when this happened? Why wouldn't you have known when, you know what I mean, kind of thing?
Breaking
Sorry,
the
go ahead.
logic of their own world.
Prince actually hit me up about that, and he said that it would like know as little as possible and just go in there blind.
Yeah.
And that's the best experience.
So yeah, the idea behind it, and this doesn't spoil anything, right? Is like that there's this new relationship with his dad. He has 2 kids. He's seeing Riley. They go up for Christmas in the lodge, and he ends up having to leave them alone up there, and they get snowed in.
The
And, like,
worst.
what happens from there?
And she's like, "These are not my kids. I didn't birth these kids.
Yep.
I want to kill one of them."
yeah,
Maybe 2.
but good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Riley Keough, of course, from Under the Silver Lake. That's the movie you liked.
Kevin, I got a bone to
great
pick
in
with
that
you.
one.
Here we go. Finally.
I got a
Pick
fucking
his
bone to pick
bone.
with you.
If you're gonna talk shit about me not finishing Casino Royale, I
That was
swear to
funny.
God.
No, I just I feel like you and I had a pact that we both hate horror movies. And
My wife
and
loves
then you
them.
become like a horror fanatic.
That's not
you're
true.
such a horror.
I'm not. No, there's 2 movies this year that I wanted to watch that are. God, it's
genius.
just, he has to. It's not.
you looked at that low ass hanging fruit and you fucking picked
Hey
that.
man,
Let
I'm
me
short.
just-
That's all I can get. That's for the short people
There are
out
2
there.
horror movies that I was excited to watch this year: The Lodge and Antlers. And every once in a while, yeah, you should watch a trailer.
The story
for it.
about Greg Miller.
No, that's The Antlers.
No.
But I don't. They just seem cool. I don't know, what man. What am I supposed to do?
The thing is,
My
like,
wife always wants to go watch scary movies,
I like-
so I have to go every once
a
in a
new
while.
wife.
And they're growing on me.
I don't mind them. They're kind of they're
Yeah.
not. They're not. It's not my preferred genre.
Yeah.
But if I can watch a horror movie, a really good horror, like well-crafted horror tale, at home during the middle of the day with all the lights on and
Yeah.
the windows up, and I can pause it when it gets really tense. I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, I just I always
Greg's
like,
just staring at me.
I-
right
I
now.
was-
don't
I
wanna
Let's
get-
say horror one more time.
horror.
I was no, but it's just more of a thing where like you
I
know
got it, yeah, I
when
know, we were a
when
team.
when me and the other classmate didn't do the test, and you're like, oh, you didn't do it either. Oh, great, we're in this together. I always felt like that with Kevin.
Suddenly I'm doing
I was
the
DMing
test.
Rahul because he's gonna be in another fucking scary ass thing, and I'm like, it's just I want to support you. But I fucking hate scary. And he was like, oh, I'm not going to watch my shit either. He was like, I fucking hate scary stuff. And I was like, how about you clip out the parts you're in? And I'll watch it on my
Just get
phone,
still
but not
frames.
full screen.
Still frames.
And
Just
volume all
images.
the way low.
Yeah.
Have you
exactly.
subscribed to DC Universe to watch him and Harley Quinn yet?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can't
I
watch
should.
Absolutely
You
not.
want to support him
Hear
so
him, right?
much, you know what I mean?
You got a DC login thing?
I mean, I do, yeah.
You do?
Let me get it, bro.
No, what? No, that's not-
Yeah, what's up, man?
no, well, no. what?
Greg, really quick.
Uh,
What did you think of Knives Out? Because you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
that.
Oh,
you
love
watched
Knives
Knives
Out.
Out?
Knives Out was awesome. That was incredible. What a great film. You know what I mean?
Really, really
Hard to
enjoyed
believe
it.
from the guy who fucked up Star Wars.
right?
You know what I mean?
Some
Like, watch
say that's
this,
the
like-
best one in that trilogy.
Yeah, a lot of kids got kicked by a
What
mule. They say a lot of
trilogy?
stupid things.
The new trilogy.
What?
The new trilogy.
Ryan Johnson?
All right, we're not going to go into that.
Yeah, no.
No Star Wars. This is a no Star Wars talk zone.
This is
not a no
Star Wars zone.
Andy, the scariest part of going to watch a scary movie is the like 25. What?
He's laughing at my joke.
Oh, the 25 minutes of scary movie trailers that they do.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the worst.
I don't like
it's like,
'em.
why are you doing this?
Dude, that
I
Candyman
forgot-
trailer. Let's go.
I forgot what movie when you and I went to go watch John Wick, and
it
the
was
first
ruined by
4
that
trailers
homeless
were
guy.
a bunch of scary ass. And I was
Scary.
like, oh,
Why?
it's been a while since I've seen a movie in theaters that wasn't a Marvel movie, where every movie is like
The Marvel
it's always
movie,
a superhero
yeah.
movie trailer before it,
Yeah.
or like a comedy or whatever the hell.
Yeah, we watched John Wick, and it was like the preview for like La Llarena.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah.
where the kids
La
are
Llorona.
just stuck in the
La
fucking
Llorona,
car,
yeah.
and something's
Yeah.
attacking, and they have to like the things keep popping up, and they
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
keep popping it down in the window.
Yeah.
You're like, ah! And then it's like John Wick.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is gonna be stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear that before Detective Pikachu started, they had a movie theater actually in San Francisco
Oh, no.
accidentally played like a trailer?
No, but it was but it was
the best.
It was nothing but scary movies, right? Like I thought
Yeah,
thought
they
They
every,
fucked up the
they
preview
fucked up
reel.
the preview
Yeah,
reel
that's-
or something.
Kids are like, if I were a parent, I'd be like, well, we're in it now.
You know
We're
what?
here.
Actually, it might
No,
have
they
been
switched the movie.
Yeah, it might have been the Llorona started.
Yeah. But before
Oh
that,
my
all the
God.
trailers were scary as well.
Metreon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's all the.
That's so funny.
They were just they had the wrong theater movie.
That's
you
what
know?
you get for having kids.
It's great.
Punish him.
Speaking of scary movies and shows and stuff, now it's time to talk about our big topic.
Big topic.
The Outsider just finished this Sunday. We all have been watching along.
Mm-hmm.
My first question for you guys is: do you guys like Stephen King?
I do.
Yeah.
I do like Stephen King. Yeah.
Do you get?
I haven't watched enough to.
No?
Again, I don't like.
probably
scary
have.
shit.
Well,
I
isn't
think you should
watching
try,
hard
yeah.
because like it's like a director's interpretation of his stuff and all.
Yeah,
that
no,
shit.
sure, there are differences, but
And
I feel
Lord
like
knows I'm not reading.
a lot of
Who's got time? You know what I
Crazy.
mean? You're over there streaming.
a lot of the stuff
games.
that we have in, like, it touches other things. Where like, what's a good example?
The Shining.
Let me ask you this question.
yeah, in
Andy, let me
it,
ask you this
there's-
question. Do you like The Shawshank Redemption?
Yeah,
I do.
Do you like The Green Mile?
Yeah,
I do.
Do you like Stand By Me?
Yeah,
I do.
Do you like The Running Man?
I haven't
I
seen
do.
it.
Then you like Stephen King.
I like It,
Those
too.
are all Stephen King movies.
I like the original.
Wait,
It.
Running Man
I
2?
like It Part 1.
wrote it
I never
under
saw
pseudonym.
It Part 2.
Never.
No. Didn't see the need.
I never saw
Nobody
the
really
new-
talked about it, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, me too.
It's good, but they elongate a little bit.
Sure.
Wish it was shorter.
I think he is a phenomenal storyteller, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that after watching this, and I've only read one of his or listened to one of his books, which is Salem's Lot. They're long, and he
So long.
really likes to put his. I think the thing that I like most about the show is the thing I liked about Salem's Lot, which is it's less about the thing and more about how people are reacting to the thing.
Absolutely.
And reacting to the situation. And I think for me, that was the most unsettling part of Outsider is he really lets you sit with these characters and see what it would be really like if this thing were happening and you had to accept it. How long would it take each and every one of us to accept this thing that we have to go fight, knowing that it might not be able to be killed, and we've never seen anything like this, right? I think that's the power of his storytelling technique.
Real quick, too, is this spoiler casty? Are we talking? Spoilers?
Not yet.
Okay.
Let's
I
hold
apologize.
off.
Then the murder mystery is crazy.
No, I mean, I
Stephen King, you
yeah,
gotta
Stephen
know.
King,
yeah,
there's
Stephen
supernatural.
King, there's supernatural elements
I think
a
he
lot of
did.
times.
I think he knocks it. I think he knocks it out of the park with just his story in general, right? He loves to put real people in these supernatural situations and see how they react. That to me is the strongest part of this. Second strongest part is the way it's shot is so phenomenal. It's so unsettling, and it plays so well into the visual storytelling that creates that tension that we can't overlook that. And
Absolutely.
then very, very, very close third is the casting.
Cast is so
so
good.
It's so good, and no one's an asshole. There's one character that's an asshole, but like everyone else is. The reasons why they're being harsh to each other or they're reacting the way they are is backed up by the logic of the world. Right?
Sure.
Even the lawyer or the woman whose husband died, that's believable.
You understand her
You
motivations.
understand her motivation.
You know why Glory's mad.
Exactly. And so, like, the people who, you stereotypically have that one asshole cop who's like, I don't believe in any of this shit. You're done. Hey, McLaren, you're clearing out your desk. You're done. You're like, we don't have that character in this. Everyone's a three-dimensional character. Even his wife, Ben Mendelsohn's wife, who I think is phenomenal. She has so many
Mare
wonderful
Winningham.
moments. Yeah, she's great. And I just think they did a knockout job with this. And I
Yeah.
hope it's done.
Done. Yeah, I don't want another.
I hope
season,
it's
for
done.
Sure.
It looks like they're gonna get another season.
I hope.
Let me give you guys an update here on one of these things. And a bit of surprising piece of news: the TV rating for the season finale of the HBO series The Outsider soared above those seemingly buzzier shows like Watchmen and True Detective. The final episode of the 10 episodes first season of Stephen King adaptation
first season.
was watched by 2.2 million viewers across all
Good
platforms,
Lord.
which is a lot. That's
And
a
who
big
knows how
number.
many pirated it?
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's crazy. I wouldn't have expected that.
While HBO originally billed the show as a limited series, it is now categorized as drama series. And showrunner Richard Price,
Vincent Price's cousin.
Yeah.
is that
No, I don't know.
Son of Phil
he
Price.
did Night of and The Wire.
The Night of is fantastic.
Yeah, previously
Wire is
said he was
fantastic.
working on a potential second season should HBO come calling. Whether The Outsider season 2 involves Mendelsohn and Arrivo or features a new cast, it's unclear. But given these ratings, HBO's new parent company demanding a higher quality of content, don't be surprised if there's officially renewed in the days to come.
I'll tell you what they need to improve on: the goddamn bit rate on Amazon Prime Video.
Oh my God!
Good Lord! Like this,
I mean,
this is,
that's a well-known problem with HBO. It's not Amazon.
this is
Amazon.
this is a dark show. There are a lot
You gotta
of
watch
dark
it.
shots.
You gotta watch it on the cable.
And
No,
they're
that's
pushing a higher bit
worse.
rate.
Are
No,
you
they're not.
Are you
That's
watching on your
720.
PlayStation?
Well, whatever they're doing, like
Yeah.
Yeah, like Tim, when I got the TV, it was like you have to watch it all through the apps on the TV, and I didn't have a problem.
Our TVs are really good at like
Yeah, they are.
making it brighter.
My big
Yeah.
problem with Amazon is not the visuals; it's the audio. The audio is always so super.
The audio
compressed,
is
you can't
totally
fucking
fucked for me,
hear.
too.
It's like super loud explosion. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Like
That's
all
why
the,
I have to watch
all
everything
the,
on cable.
All the day shots look fantastic, but good lord, it gets very artifacty
dark, yeah.
in any sort of night scene, and there's a lot of dark scenes that require you to pay attention to what's happening on the screen. But
like the
you
entire
just
last
can't
episode
see
that
it.
happens in a fucking cave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was
yeah.
cool, though.
I loved the show. I
Wait.
didn't see it going in that direction.
Uh-huh. So when did you guys get hooked? Like when were you like
Trailer
the
number one.
trailer? Yeah.
Trailer number 1. I watched that and I was like,
Totally.
I want that. I want
totally. Like with me and HBO, if you're gonna show me a murder mystery drama, I'm like, all right, fuck
Whatever
yeah.
you put on Sunday nights on HBO. I'm
Yeah,
like, this
exactly.
is gonna be great. Cool.
Well,
I'm in.
Because like
Also-
I love the Night of, I loved True Detective 1 and 3. I like if you're going to present
1 and 3.
If you're gonna present a drama with fantastic actors, you know it's gonna come with great writing. You know it's gonna have great tension. Like I'm just all
And it's
about
going to
that
have the
shit.
production value to
Yeah.
it too, right? HBO throws good money to make a cool, great product out of these things. They're very, very, with the exception of True Detective Season 2, they rarely miss when it comes to this style of drama that they create. For me, yeah. See, I mean, I'm a sucker for Jason Bateman. Sucker for him. You see him versus Ben Mendelsohn, I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And I thought off the
We're
top,
still not going into spoilers.
yeah,
So just
I was
hold
like,
off
oh,
on-
seeing that, I'm like, this is cool. This is like, the trailer was, hey, I didn't kill these kids.
yeah.
And then they're like, oh, maybe he didn't kill these kids. And I'm like, that's enough for me, right? If there's my perception of it was, we're going to go 10 episodes, and it's going to be a trial, and we're going to figure out if he did or not kill these kids. And maybe there's some ambiguity in it, but that's it.
Well, based
then I
on
saw
the-
it with Stephen King, and I was like, uh-oh.
Based on the first
It
episode,
was like,
The-
there's going to be something else in this
after the
fucking
first
thing.
episode, you and I were talking, and you asked how many episodes. Like at the rate it's going, maybe 4. Because
Yeah.
I don't know how much
Yeah,
longer
yeah,
this
yeah.
shit could
That's
be.
what I thought. I was like, oh, cool, because that's the current trend, right? Is like after Watchmen, I'm like, oh, maybe they're just going all in on like
Like a 6
5
or 8
episodes,
or
6
something,
episodes, hour long a piece. I'm totally in for that. By the way, HBO, if you're watching this, and I doubt you are, but this will keep me subscribing if you keep making quality content and not quantity. I want quality.
They know that. Yeah.
HBO knows
Yeah.
that. Some other,
Yeah, no,
some
yeah,
other
yeah.
streaming outfits.
How
don't
good
understand
was
it.
Watchmen? Good lord.
Really good.
Watchmen's great.
For me, it was the end of the second episode where I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna watch this like every episode of this."
Yeah.
'Cause that's when some stuff goes down.
I was gonna
and
say
you
no
just-
spoilers, but
Yeah.
that's we're going to court.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved the premise of that's impossible for somebody to be in two
Totally.
places at one point and at one time, and immediately that mystery is sort
Yeah.
of
So
brought to
good.
the
It-
forefront.
and that
You're
was the
like,
thing.
what is the answer?
You know,
here?
you apologized earlier of like, oh, it's just a murder mystery. Like, I think the trailer alone gives off that there's something weird going
There's
on.
a weird
here.
vibe to it,
and so
right?
that's why I was.
But you
in.
don't know if it's conspiracy
But
or
like
whatever.
they use the quote from. Well, I didn't think that though, because like Holly used that you can't exist in 2 realities at the same
Right.
time. So my whole thought coming into this is like, oh, it's some kind of weird Stephen King mirror reality.
Right,
Mirror,
multiple
somebody's found a
reality,
mirror
yeah.
dimension we're coming
Multiverse
through,
or
or that kind of
whatever.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for it to not to slowly evolve into what it was, and then just actually get kind of answers out of it, I was like, fuck, that's really.
Yeah,
I didn't
like,
expect that.
I was pleasantly surprised that every new mystery that was, when they would sort of give you a problem, and then they would answer that problem, and you think, oh, okay, well that's going to be it. How much longer can the series go? And then a new sort of facet is
Twist to
introduced,
it,
a
yeah.
new sort of twist, and then that keeps you going. And I was really happy that the new twists that kept getting introduced were satisfying. Like
Yeah.
they were really well
Yeah.
thought out and well written, and it just shows super
Before
good.
we go into spoilers, what did you guys think? Did you guys like it?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Like
Everyone
the whole
should absolutely
season?
watch this. Yes.
I loved it. I thought the ending was a bit
I
flat.
thought the finale
Ending
was
was
kind of
yeah.
flat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And, but I also, it was a traditional horror movie thing, right? Of like, I remember when the penultimate episode ended, and it ends on a big, holy
Yeah.
shit, it ended, but it was still a thing of like, when we started to back up, I was like, there's not going to be a real way to satisfyingly end this, right? Like, I don't know how you could land this plane and have it be like, fuck. you
That's
know?
yeah, and again,
Yeah.
you nailed it. That's the general issue with a lot of horror films
Right.
is that the setup
Premises
and the
are always so
mystery
cool.
is always so much more fun than the
But
payoff.
you have to have a cool payoff.
There
and to
are
be fair, I think this has a cool payoff. The problem is the first 2 acts are so good
Yeah.
that it can't
Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another way they could have ended this that we can talk about, but
Nuclear explosion, everybody's dead.
exactly.
I mean, there
Chernobyl.
are
it's a prequel.
there are parts of me where I would have almost preferred just this sort of endless mystery. This
Yeah.
sort of like
Yeah, but then the
they
problem with
introduce
that-
something and then the show ends, and I would have been like, cool. Like I don't know if I need more, but I love kind of like up to our interpretation. But they just so answered everything, and I was like,
But there's always a point when there's an endless mystery where I go, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, now I'm annoyed.
And that's why, and that's usually right after season 2, where I'm like, I've hung in here for 2, and you're just endlessly like Walking Dead is a perfect example of like it's just gonna keep going.
But if they ended it, if they said this is the series finale, like
so you want a little bit of ambiguity.
I would love some ambiguity.
See, I don't like that.
I kind of feel like we
always
got that a little bit.
I feel like the why I like Stephen King is he fucking commits to whatever the thing is.
Sure.
And I love that. And yes, maybe you don't like the ending, but I can't stand when story writers go, I'm going to leave it with
totally ambiguous.
So totally ambiguous.
It's
up to your interpretation. Yeah. That's a fucking cop-out, and that's lazy writing. Stephen King at least was like, this is the thing it's going to be.
Yeah.
And you might not like it, but we're done. Cool. We'll go on to the next thing. Whatever it's going to be.
Spoiler time?
I think it's spoiler time, but before we talk about spoilers, let me tell you about this week's sponsors.
That's a good place for it, Kev.
Our first ad is Upstart. As most of you have found out the hard way, getting into debt is easy, getting out is hard, especially if your credit score isn't great. Thankfully, there's Upstart.com, the revolutionary lending platform that knows you're more than just your credit score and offers smarter interest rates to help you pay off high-interest credit card debt. We've talked about it before, but when our Greg Miller got hired for his dream job at IGN, he had to move across the U.S., and, well, moving across the country costs a lot of money. Miller took out a loan, and because his credit was still very new, his interest rate was pretty high. If he knew about Upstart, he could have saved a lot of money. Upstart goes beyond the traditional credit score when assessing your credit worthiness. They actually reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter rate. Upstart believes you're more than just your credit score. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate. Since it's just a soft pull, it won't affect your credit score. The hard pull happens if you accept your rate. The best part, once the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. If you plan right, that's the next day. Over 400,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards or meet their financial goals. Free yourself from the burden of high-interest credit card debt by consolidating everything into one monthly payment with Upstart. See why Upstart is ranked number 1 in their category with over 300 businesses on Trustpilot. Hurry to upstart.com/morning to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes. That's upstart.com/morning.
I am actually going to use this for my student loans to refinance everything. Greg was pushing me in the camera.
There you go.
I wasn't just being rude.
Because my credit score has gotten a lot better, and I will get a much better interest rate than what I was given at the get. Yeah,
I'm excited to add your story into the beginning here. Our next ad is Manscaped. I've cut myself shaving my dangly bits. Let me tell you, folks, if this isn't something you've gone through, consider yourself lucky. Nothing is quite as scary as feeling pain on your balls and looking down and seeing blood. Start taking notes because Manscaped accidents are finally a thing of the past. Let me see, sorry. Yeah. No more cuts and nicks with Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. This is the 3rd generation trim featuring advanced skin-safe technology so you keep your bad boys nice and smooth. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. Barrett, you have the Lawnmower 3.0, right?
I do.
And you ever nick yourself with it?
Never.
It's because you can't. I've tested it when it came in here. I put it against my hand right here, and it didn't cut me because the bottom thing is made out of plastic.
It's got that
and
nice
much,
little guard, yeah.
much safer. When I tell you it's premium, I mean premium. The battery lasts up to 90 minutes so you can take a longer shave. One of the coolest features, the LED light, which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming. And let's not forget about the charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is rapid charging dock powered by USB. You need to try this out for yourself. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code MORNING at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Our final ad is Indochino. Wearing a suit is one of my favorite things I can do. I will literally wear a suit anytime I can because nothing in the world makes me feel so cool and comfy. We went to Indochino's San Francisco location and had a great time getting fitted, messing around with all the different options to customize the suit. You can you get to choose from hundreds of high quality fabrics to pick the color, pattern, weight you like best. Then you choose all the personal touches, including your lining, lapel, monogram. The customizations are all your choice, and there are no extra costs. As you've heard, I chose to have them stitch on the inside of my lapel, follow at Kinda Funny Kevin instead of a monogram, and they did it. So that was really cool. Indochino also sells custom shirts, coats, and chinos, so you can get a full custom wardrobe. They have showrooms across the North America where one of their style guides can take your measurements and walk you through the process. It's a lot of fun if you go in with a bunch of buddies. It's a fun way to spend the afternoon. Or you can do it all from home at Indochino.com. Right now, get an extra $30 off any purchase of $3.99 or more at Indochino.com when entering morning at checkout. Plus, shipping is free. That's Indochino.com, promo code MORNING for $30 off your total purchase of $3.99 or more. High-quality custom suits for an off-the-rack price. All right, now it's time to jump back in and talk about spoilers.
Step into the spoiler
Yeah,
zone.
that ending episode too, man. Right? They promoted it so much as a Jason Bateman show.
Yeah, oh
And
my
I was
God.
Like, all right, cool, Jason.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
wait. And then he's just blown away. Like,
The ending
fuck.
of the second episode, right?
Yeah.
Where
He was a
he's
producer,
walking
right?
out.
I think he was.
He
a
produced
direct-
it. He directed a few too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Jason Bateman
He's
show.
he's a
But
phenomenal
the way the
actor.
trailer set it all
Of course,
up, I really
yeah.
thought we were going a different direction.
Yeah, and,
But like-
that's
Yeah.
why I thought, this show's going to be maybe 4 episodes.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, the main guy's dead. What else could they possibly do? But again, they would introduce a new mystery and then maybe give you some hints, and you think you have the answer, and then a new mystery
But
is
you don't
brought
got
in.
shit.
Yeah, you don't know shit, Greg.
At the end of the second episode, he gets shot, and then it pans up and it zooms into the stranger, or
Yeah, the outsider.
the outsider standing
little
there
hoodie.
with his hood on, and it is one of those things that was in the book. You don't see him till way later. I'm glad that they added him there because that definitely is what you're talking about. Where
Yeah.
you get a moment of who's
what
this?
is
What the
going
fuck's
on?
happening?
Yeah.
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 And shout out to Jason Bateman, right? Because it takes a more holistic view to see that, hey, yeah, I'm gonna be the star of this, but I'm only gonna last till episode 2. Like, I guess what I'm saying is good on him for not being in the rest of it. Because if you were the lead and the ego got in the way, I could easily see you being like, oh, maybe I'll take the detective
Wasn't
role
he-
instead.
Wasn't
You know
he
what I mean?
famous for having a bad an ego problem?
Jason Bateman?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
That much I don't know.
During
but I mean,
Arrested Development, I had read that somewhere.
Oh, really?
But God, he is such a good serious actor.
Oh, yeah.
He plays those roles you gotta watch the Ozark, man.
The Ozark?
Yeah.
It's just Ozark.
Isn't it Ozarks?
No. It's definitely
His
not.
other
either of
one.
those things.
You've gotten in your head, Greg. Get him out.
Yeah, I think he was great, and kudos to him for only doing the 2 and taking that role because I think that sells it right. He's got that. He comes off as such a nice guy, innocent guy, which is why he's so perfect as the potential suspect in a murder mystery of children.
Such a
'Cause he-
gruesome.
Yeah, he
murder,
gives
too.
off that vibe of he's the dad next door who's just going to take the kids to baseball practice, and he's a good dude. And
Well, he's the baseball
he's the kind
coach,
of guy that
right?
would never cheat on his taxes, right?
Yeah.
And then so that draws you so well in a trailer of he's perfect casting for that.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he gets fucking murked in the second episode, and you're left with Ben Mendelsohn, you're like, whoa, this is a trip. I didn't see this
And
coming.
he's so good.
Also, I didn't know Ben Mendelsohn was English. I didn't know
Is
he
he?
was British. Yeah,
Is he?
he. After every episode,
Oh,
they
they
have
do the little
yeah.
episode things.
And it's
Oh.
Jesus, Cynthia Erivo, who
Is she
was
British also?
She's British also.
Shut the
Wow.
front door.
Who's
And
Cynthia-
they're-
who is she in the
She's Holly.
She's the
Holly,
detective.
yeah.
Oh,
Holly
yeah,
Goodney,
yeah, okay.
Detective Holly Goodney.
One other note that in the books, the Frankie Peterson's murder is way more brutal, and they go into a lot more detail.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He Prince sent that in here, and I don't want to read it. It's
fine.
fucked up.
Let me read it.
No,
I'll read it aloud.
I didn't include it here.
Oh, you're a coward.
Yeah, that's right. That's how bad it is.
Fine, have it your way.
So the idea, going into this, at what point did you guys have a guess as to what the thing was that was that was doing this thing.
I mean, the third episode we get introduced. Let me double check.
It wasn't until Cynthia Erivo said El Cuco.
Yeah.
That I thought.
Oh, we're really going to the
we're
Boogeyman?
going
Yeah.
Boogeyman style.
yeah.
We're going like growing up, in a Latino household. It's El Cucuy. The Cucuy is like the scary thing. Like, oh, Cucuy's coming for you. Like that was always a scary thing.
Yeah.
And
I think it's the fourth.
when they
episode
brought that
introduced
in, I was like, are they really going to go this direction, or is this just like some sort of like misdirection
Right.
or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a pump fake that they're kind of like trying to fake us out?
Yeah.
And they totally went for it. But what you were mentioning earlier, Nick, they did such a fantastic job of having main characters
The third episode.
not fully believe in this
Right.
concept yet.
Yep.
And it takes a while. And you see
And that mirrors how you look at it.
yeah,
too,
and
right?
you see the doubt creep in, and you see them sort of slowly turning a corner until like what I think episode 8, the way it ends
Yeah.
after the fair,
Yeah.
They show up with the iPad with the photo. of the
yeah,
guy
and they're
on it,
showing him,
video on
and
it.
then
Ben
Cynthia
Mendelsohn.
says it's here.
Yeah.
And
That-
then Ben Mendelsohn's acting right there, how he's able to show the audience.
He finally
Like,
gets
Yeah,
this
it.
is
he
it.
gets it,
I
yeah.
get it. Oh my god, I think that's like one of the coolest fucking endings.
Agreed,
The way it
100%.
was shot, the music that was playing, I was blown the fuck away.
When it ended, it was that thing where, and the credits finally popped, Jen and I turned to each other and just like, holy shit, that was so well acted. It's
So
so well.
great.
Because it is just silence.
Yeah.
After she says it's here.
It's
And
just
him, like,
all
looking
facial
around.
emotion.
Yeah, totally.
God
And
damn.
yeah, I love that, and I like the crafting of that story of like even as an audience member, you're sitting back watching, trying to get a scientific reason for why this is happening.
Yeah.
Yep.
I find myself going like, well, maybe he's a twin brother, or maybe he's got this other thing because twins have like shared DNA.
Yeah.
Maybe it's someone setting him up. Maybe it is the cop. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's this. And you see Ben Mendelsohn sort of going through those motions as well, of going like, there's how many times does he say, hey, like there's that one part where the guy's like, when are you gonna believe? And he goes, I believe in finding like, he's like, sorry, I'll just go back to
Evidence, yeah.
good old fashioned police work where I chase
Dumb
down
cop
leads
shit.
and dumb cop shit. And then at a certain point, he's the last holdout, and he's kind of the linchpin where once he decides that, hey, this is the thing,
Yeah.
and he never really even says it, right? There's just a moment where she looks at him and she goes, I noticed you're not putting prefaces on this anymore.
Yeah.
You're not saying if this
There's
is
no
real anymore. There's no
qualifiers here.
qualifiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're saying it's real, we're going after it. And there's never a big deal made out of it. And then I think that builds into that last conversation they have in his living room where she's like, why did you or like he's like, why was it so easy for you to believe? And she goes, well, an outsider knows an outsider.
Yeah.
But she's really talking about like why they worked so well together because
Yeah.
he's also an outsider to this as well. He just never really realized it. At least that's what I read into it. I could be wrong.
I definitely got the feeling from that she was like, this thing's different, and I'm also different.
But she's different, but
Yeah.
also because of Ben Mendelsohn's job, because he has to go and arrest people who are like these horrifying monsters. He's also an outsider to like normal society. I just that's kind of what I read into it. Like, I just thought it was a cool little touching moment where she was like, we're more alike than I think. Because he's like, we should team up again. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh God, don't say that.
One thing I didn't
We don't
ex-
need it a second season.
We
of
got to
this.
go after
Yeah.
the Bigfoot.
One thing I didn't expect the show to
Sasquatch.
One thing I didn't
Killing
expect
deer.
the show to get into was once you're in the car and they are making sure their stories all line up. I was like, oh, I didn't expect this to be the next sort of thing that the show has to do, where the characters have
They're trying to still
they have to
really
continue-
Tie up the loose ends.
Yeah.
And I didn't I just hadn't even considered that would be a thing. I thought they would kill the thing, the show would fucking end. But now it becomes
Well, because they have to, because that was the genius.
because
of it,
they
right?
didn't want anybody to know.
Well, they
which
can't
kinda
tell you
bummed
the
me
truth.
out.
Well, no, but it's also they want to clear Terry.
Yeah,
from the
they want to clear
murders,
Terry
yeah.
Maitland, but like when he's having the conversation with El Cuco and he's like, if scientists come in
Yeah.
here and they start poking around, they're gonna be poking at your skin and taking off samples of you or whatever, and that's why nobody can know what you are. And when he said that line, I was like, fuck. Like, I really wanted the public to know, but I wanted to
Yeah.
see what the fallout would be.
Yeah.
Of the
boogeyman.
public
Or just
knowing.
to know that the world
Yeah.
has some fallout
Yeah,
that's going to come
exactly.
from it.
But I read that also in that he just was like, "There's no possible way we can get the greater world to believe this."
Yeah, they think we're crazy. Is
Like
what
they
he tells
think
Holly,
they're gonna
right?
think
if we
we're
do this, they'll
fucking
lock
crazy.
us up.
Yeah. So like we
which
have
I didn't
to just,
fully follow and believe, but whatever.
Well, I just felt like at the end I was like, bury this fucking thing. Why are you
Burn
leaving
it,
the cable?
drag it
Yeah.
out and burn it.
Put it in a fucking coffin,
Yeah.
and bury the fucking thing, so it can't ever get out.
One more book difference. They actually pinned the blame for the Frankie Peterson murder
On the
all
cop.
on Jack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I assume that's what they would do.
and exonerate Terry. They didn't, though. They like...
I thought that's
They
what
say
they were.
that
I was
Jack's
like,
working for the other guy.
guy,
and the other
yeah,
guy's
yeah.
still on the run.
And what is interesting is in like I believe it's the maybe 9th or 8th episode, there is the moment where the DA from whatever the
from
original
the-
town,
yeah.
they're like, hey, there's another kid that got killed in a similar way. So it's like there are more of these things out there, it sounds like.
Is that what that was? I got confused.
wasn't
by
sure
that.
either.
I feel like that's a vague thing to be like either he went and hunted something, but
Yeah.
he seemed weak.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was a kid that got killed earlier.
No, because they had
And they
just found
just found
it.
the body, but this
I
is like
think
a month-long process,
I think it's to
right?
imply that there may be more of these things. Because there is the moment where they're having the conversation and they're like,
I've sensed others.
yeah, are there more?
I did like that conversation where it was so ominous and so well built, the tension when
Yeah.
they were walking into the cave, and then you hear the Kuko say,
It's like watch your step.
"Watch your
Yeah,
step,
yeah,
like make sure
yeah.
you don't fall down."
Yeah.
And I love that. Prior to that, Holly Gibney says he's scared. He doesn't want to die. He's holding onto the handrails.
Yeah,
he doesn't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
fall. He
Yeah,
can
yeah,
be
yeah.
killed.
Yeah.
know, but just the way that they actually had this
I feel like that's a
conversation.
leap of logic.
No, I
Maybe he
loved
just
it.
doesn't want to pull a
Yeah.
hamstring. You know what
It's
I mean?
what you don't see like
But that
in
means he can
monster
get hurt.
movies
That's
generally, right?
Yeah.
Even with like It, I'm always like, I'd love somebody to talk to It,
Yeah.
right? And so they do it here, and it
and
is
for
this
it to be like,
And then
what am I?
When Ben Mendelsohn's like, stop, I was like, no, keep going.
Yeah,
like, this
yeah.
is interesting. I like the
Yeah.
idea of having a conversation with the boogeyman.
Yeah, and the fact that the boogeyman didn't, wanted kind of it wanted answers. It itself was like, I don't know what I am. Am I alone out here? Am I just like this weird sort of,
Creature.
outsider? Like it was just so cool, so well done. I didn't need the post credit scene with Holly Gibney and the scratch.
Nope.
Yeah,
Just
I thought
fucking-
that's. 'cause
I
we
turned it
see
off before then, and then the next morning Jen was like, "Oh, there was a post-credit scene." I just watched it this morning.
Really lame.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, like-
thought it was just leaving things vague, unnecessarily vague.
I feel like that's a way to get out of Nick's criticism that I agree with from other movies. When the real ending of the movie is, leave it to your interpretation, right?
Right.
Because this one, Kevin and I watched it this morning. He'd already seen it, and I was like, "Oh, that's neat." I'm like, "You got the song?" He's like, "Yeah, it's the song that Ben Mendelsohn's character talks about when his mom dies." I like that.
and his son is born.
Yeah, and I
That's a
like
cool touch.
I like the I was like, oh, the scratch on it. You were like, you missed the scratch in the arm. Like I saw the scratch in the arm, and you were like, well, it's dumb because when she hugs him goodbye, she doesn't have the scratch, right? And I was like, well, maybe it's the ghost that you just saw there, or maybe it's the scratch that happened somewhere else, and it's playing
She
with
might
expectations.
I could also see her going back to the cave.
sure.
Trying to investigate further.
There was that funny moment where she sees Jack behind her and freaks
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Grabs the mirror to look at the back of her neck. And it was too dark, and I was like, I can't see. Is like is there actual infection back
God,
there
there?
was no
that
infection.
shit was so. That looked so painful.
They
looked
do
really
such a good
gross.
job shooting that too,
Yeah.
because the next shot, so she looks at it, and then the next shot is her at her laptop, and then the camera slowly goes around her head again. You're like, are we gonna fucking see her
Yeah.
neck
Yeah.
again? And then it goes to like what she's looking at, and then we see the scratch on her arm. You're like, oh no.
But like,
I
when did
don't.
she get scratched?
I don't mind there being a scratch of like,
interpretation.
hey, it's open ended. But what that meant to me is, oh, the producers are leaving themselves an out to do a second season, and I don't want a second.
I feel like
season
they
of the
already
show.
left. I don't want it either. I feel like they already left themselves the out with him being like, maybe we should team up again sometime, right?
Yeah.
Gotta catch the fucking
Totally
boogeyman
fine, but
too.
like, I feel like
Boogeyman hunters.
the thing that scares me when they do this, and I'm trying to remember the other show that did this. Maybe it was it was Game of Thrones, right? Is that whenever you're like that, you start getting too far away from the source material, and
Yeah.
it gets in the hands of other writers.
Sure.
The show inevitably is going to feel different.
Yeah.
It's not going to be as tight.
Unless
It's not
the
going to be
team
as
is-
good, and it's not going to be as structured.
Unless the team is super passionate, like
Or unless
David
it's a completely different team, and we're just
Lindelof.
Lindelof. There it is.
unless it's like a completely different team, and you're just like, hey, we're doing different characters.
I just think
like True Detective.
if someone has a vision for it, like the showrunner, like he came out and was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about developing another season."
Oh, of course. I'm not
Like,
saying
I'm down.
I'm not saying they can't make another great season of the show. They've developed a cool world. They have a great style for it. But what I'm saying is, this was good. Don't make another second season that's fucking terrible, and then sully the good name of this. And then I can't recommend this show. Then I have to qualify it for the rest of my
Just
life.
season 1.
Oh, watch The Outsider, but just watch season 1.
Watch
like True
season 1
Detective,
and then, like,
watch
the
season
second
1 and
half
season
of
3,
season
but don't
2,
do
but
season
don't.
2.
I mean, the way Watchmen ended is how I would have preferred more of an ending
Me too.
here. With the Inception is the
Finite.
top about to fall over moment.
Yeah.
Like that the ending
Where
of
it's like
that.
you can see it tipping, or it's like
Yeah.
you know that she's
You
kind
kind
of
of know,
walk
but
on the
you
water.
just don't see it. Like I would have preferred more of an ending like that. I don't mean like the cave crumbled and then like where did the monster go and the show ends. Like I'm not talking something
No,
that
but with
open,
but with Watchmen, they give you that little bit of what if that gets your imagination going. That's perfect. It leaves you wanting more.
That's what I
and
would
You're
love
never
here.
going to get it.
I wanted that here.
I would have loved. But I mean, I think there was enough in this of Ben Mendelsohn doesn't know if this thing actually is dead. He doesn't know. Remember, he goes, he goes, I'll be right back, and he comes back and he goes, I know you're fucking.
Faking,
I know you're
playing
faking.
possum.
I know you're playing possum.
Yeah.
And the thing
When you
opens its
see-
eyes.
who
It's got
was
a
the-
fucking knife through its heart, and it opens
And
its
a giant
eyes.
rock
Yeah,
in
and
its
he's
stomach.
like, I don't know. Like, you get that he's like, I don't know if I can fucking kill this thing. And that's enough for me. It's enough for me to know that at some point, maybe 5 years, 2 years, 3 years,
The
whatever,
spirit escaped or some
the
shit.
thing grows back, gets the rock out, and starts attacking it because it is this supernatural being that can't be killed.
Yeah.
He sees two ghosts, right? When
He
he's
sees
about
his
to leave.
kid
His kid, and
And
who's the other
Frankie
kid?
Peterson, I thought.
No.
it was
It's
too old.
remember, it's the guy who shot Terry Maitland.
Oh,
It's Frankie
God.
Peterson's
Yeah.
brother.
The
right?
brother, the older
Yeah,
brother,
yeah,
the
yeah.
redhead.
All right.
That freaked me the fuck out.
What-
Well, that's how
what
we knew the thing
I
was still
did not-
alive,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I kind of wanted was for there to be a moment in confusion whether it's the creature had survived or Claude
Yep,
had
me too.
survived. I
Yeah.
thought that would have been cool.
Nah,
I think it would have been really cool if they had to kill Claude just to be sure.
When Claude walked in, I thought, they're gonna do the bullshit with the which
Which
the real
one?
one. Yeah, like I did.
I thought that for a second, but then I'm
so glad they
very
strayed away
quickly was
from
like,
that.
no, Claude's gonna go in there and kill him for killing his brother and not give a fuck about what happens around him.
Yeah.
So that's gonna give them the option to run away.
I mean, that shootout scene, like Jesus, how
Oh my
brutal
God.
that was.
I thought for 1 second that in order to kill the thing, you had to kill Claude.
Oh.
That's how I thought it was tied together, and I
Yeah,
thought Claude was
I
going
can
to
see
kill
that.
himself, and it was going to kill the thing. Like, if you were, you know what I mean?
Right,
Because they were
right,
in
'cause
each
they
other's
share
brains
each other's
and all that
minds.
stuff.
Yeah.
I thought, like, oh, that's going to be cool. The guy has to, like, I thought he was going to, like, get out and then shoot the fucking, like, shoot himself or shoot, and then the whole thing was going to cave down. That would have been cool.
I thought they did a fantastic job with Holly Gibney and the guy that she was in love with,
Andy?
and watching him die.
Oh,
His name's Andy.
Oh, Andy, yeah.
that guy was good too.
He
Yeah.
was great, yeah.
And the whole
Him
reason that
dying
House
though
of
broke my
Cards-
heart.
yeah.
Him dying really broke my heart. And another
Such
thing,
a stupid death too.
Yeah.
Like don't
It's
even
like,
why?
don't,
Don't.
why?
another really good emotional moment was when they finally tell Terry Maitland's wife.
Oh, the
kind of,
truth.
Oh, yeah.
And that
Well,
guy
so-
is kind of pouring his heart. He's like, I know you're suing us.
Oh, that part.
and I
yeah, when
can't really
the
tell
DA.
you. Yeah.
I
How
can't
I
because
feel.
of the lawsuit you have pending against me in my office. I can't tell you what's in my heart.
Yeah.
I thought and she's like, I completely
She's
understand.
like,
It was really well written and well
Yeah.
acted. Like, goddamn, the movie.
I
I
thought-
thought
also,
same
like-
thing for Jack Hoskins, that character, that cop, right? Like I think I remember when he got introduced in the show early on, I thought it was so weird.
Yeah.
Where he's out hunting and
didn't
the phone
fit, yeah.
comes and he's like, damn it, fuck, and he goes back and I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
And then have it come all the way around to
Mm-hmm.
him back ends with his gun and like they slow burned to the point of like, no, he was a world class sharpshooter and should have
Right,
got in
right,
and
right.
da-da-da.
But he was
I don't know.
psychotic.
Yeah.
I will say this though, for the wife character, like the Jason Bateman's like wife.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Glory.
cut this guy a little fucking slack. Like I know they killed your husband, but like,
No.
this is if someone came to me and said this is all the evidence we have and this thing was real, like I'd be like, okay, you're off the hook. Like I'm sorry, I know you caused my husband's death, but like it's so ridiculous that this happened that you can't possibly be to blame.
You
'Cause
have
if-
the DNA, you have the
The-
fingerprints,
the
you have the
footage.
footage, yeah.
5
yeah,
people
but
who
it's
saw
like,
it. Come
that's,
on,
that's not a rational thing, you know?
it's totally irrational.
Yeah.
of
Well, that's
course.
why they do a
Yeah.
good job of
Yeah.
never letting her leave
That
the rational
anger,
mindset.
yeah.
She's locked in of like the fucking boogeyman. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I really, really liked the 3 interactions they have with the whole group and her, where they're first, where we're having Holly tell the like everyone,
Oh, that was
Yeah,
great.
like, hey, and everyone kind of like fucking doesn't care and is like, you're full of shit. And then afterwards, when we have the confirmation of like, no, this shit, like, this is real.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we have the final one where it's like, hey, it's dead. Like, don't tell the cops about it. Like,
Yeah.
I thought all those interactions, her reaction to it was phenomenal acting.
Yeah.
The first interaction was so well done because I keep forgetting the character's name. It's Maitland's wife.
Glory.
Jessa.
Oh.
No, Jessa's the kid.
Yeah.
Glory. Yeah.
Yeah.
When Glory is sitting there and everybody's like, "Are you serious, Holly? You're gonna go into this fucking boogeyman shit?" And Glory's like, "No, I want to hear this." And you think, and it's such a good fake out to the audience because you think, she's ready to
good.
believe.
Yeah.
And then her reaction is to be like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You dragged
fucking
me out
kidding
here
me,
for
yeah.
this." Like,
Yeah.
it
This is
was
your big plan.
so great, dude.
Holly's
Goddamn.
so great too. That
Oh my
actress.
God.
Yeah.
So what a great,
phenomenal.
what a great ride with her and character. But more importantly, the one thing we haven't pointed out, Andy, how badly did you want to try that fried chicken when they
Oh
went?
my God! Holy shit! Yeah.
Come on, son.
I love it.
I,
Just put it in a fucking bag
Yeah.
and just take it home.
What I'm really hopeful for is that HBO loves sort of recasting characters or actors that they've had in prior
Sure.
shows, and I would love to see this cast just. I mean, not obviously you can't have the whole cast, but I would love to see, what's her name who played Holly Gibney? I'm
Cynthia
already forgetting her
Erivo.
name.
Cynthia Erivo,
Yeah, I would love to see her in more shit. I know Ben Mendelsohn's a little too Hollywood, I feel, but
Not no more.
Bro.
I
Fuck
just,
you, bro.
he's just so fantastic, dude. This whole cast is great.
I really
Highly
enjoy
recommend
this.
the show.
I
Me too.
wish that the ending was a little bit better, but overall, I think I'd still
Yeah.
recommend it.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
I think
I-
it's still a cool show.
At least
I think
it
it's
was
so difficult to end perfectly.
I
Yeah,
mean, but
yeah.
to be fair, like the one thing I appreciate is they ended it. They give you the answer, they tell you what it is. They to your point, they get to have the conversation, which I thought was fucking awesome. Where he's just like, they just are talking face to face with this thing they've been hunting for fucking 10 episodes.
Yeah.
It's so good. Granted, it could have been better. It could have been more fulfilling, but at the same time, like, I'm satiated.
Yeah, totally.
I do think they could have cut out some stuff and made it an 8-episode
Maybe.
season.
I don't know. I felt like the pacing was really good. I know it was a little slow, but like it's on purpose.
Sure.
Like it wants to give you time to think about that
Yeah,
stuff.
for me, when I started thinking of cutting stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, like Jack and his bubble neck or whatever. Like, while cool it's a slow burn to get to where he finally is.
But like I
even
think
then,
that you
it-
need to get there,
the
right?
torture
he's-
of it, right? When his mom
where he's-
shows up or whatever.
Yeah, and beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was a little odd is that when the El Cuco is attacking the or like trying to take that little
Take the
kid
kid,
at the festival,
it's
which none of
horrifying.
that is in the book. But
That was great.
yeah, no, it was
Glad they
really
added
good.
Did
It was
anybody else want to
scary.
go to Cave Fest? Because I kind of want to go to Cave
Yeah,
Fest.
Cave Fest looks cool. There is a moment though where like the grandpa like tackles him, and it's like I'm confused on how strong El Cuco is. Because
He was weak there. He
Yeah.
needed to eat.
He's
He
hungry.
needed to eat a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the way he sounds when he moves, he's like,
Yeah.
like a fucking animal.
Well,
like
the
a predator.
tiger growling is really weird too.
I have just never felt more tension than in that moment when he's walking with the kid, and the sister turns around and is like,
starts
"Hey!" Like, oh my god, dude, that was so damn intense.
What did he call it? He said something about like when he eats it, he was eating the.
He said the kids because they were the sweetest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was something else that he called
Fuck
it.
that.
Not dust, hope, no, something.
I forgot.
It sounds like something that they talk about in Doctor Sleep. There's like a group of bad guys essentially that are looking for psychic people to steal like this energy that they have.
Right. Oh, you
And
think
it's
this
just-
shit's connected? Anyway.
It's all
I mean,
connected.
it's yeah.
A lot of
it-
Stephen King shit,
Stephen
isn't it?
King like connects a lot of his stuff, where it's like, you know, when he was like, I felt another energy. Was it like maybe he was talking about it? You know, a little
Yeah.
Pennywise energy out there.
That's why. So, and again, what I listened to Salem's Lot, and it reminded me a lot of this. Right, Salem's Lot, of course, is about a vampire in a small town, and a lot of the storytelling. Well, it's on the cover.
I'm a vampire.
It literally looks like it. But,
love?
Can I find love?
love is
Is
blind.
he looking for love?
When Dracula moves to Salem.
I could only date at night.
Go around and
But one of the things
Everything was fine till he met Salem and her shop Lot.
this is my dog Lot. I love him.
We're really veering off
We're
topic.
off topic.
here.
I love him. That's a bad Dracula.
No, the point I was going to make was
Such a bad Dracula.
the point I was going to make was it's about a bunch of people in this town who have to come to terms with the fact that this thing might be real and they don't want to.
Yeah.
So much so that when we start the book, it's the main character has run away from this whole situation because he doesn't want to even think about it ever again. And that's what I think is so good about Stephen King storytelling. Very similar to It, right? Where It Chapter 2 picks up and the kids are like, fuck, like one of the guys is like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to face this thing. I just don't want to do it again.
Well, they do a great job of in the vehicle having the conversations of where Ben Mendelsohn's like, what's this going to do to the religious community?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just going to throw everything for a loop. Like,
But not only that, but they have like, I just love how well he can capture we have to go kill this thing. And it's terrifying.
and you don't
because
really
we don't know
if we can.
exactly, yeah. And I that hadn't even occurred to me because
Right.
they're starting this hunt or whatever, and then this sort of fear sets in where they're like, "Can it didn't really hit me until Ben Mendelsohn's wife is like, "No, come
Yeah,
back.
don't do
You
this.
can't
Yeah.
do
You
this.
can't do it. You can't
And
kill
that sort of hit me of like, holy shit!
But
it
not
hadn't
only
even
that-
occurred to me that they can just be killed by
See,
this
for
thing.
me, it was when the guy who was like, I used to be a Marine and I was in Iraq or Afghanistan.
Oh
he was
yeah,
like-
and he
pennies
feels
as
that.
well.
Yeah.
and he was like, I had that same feeling. I just don't want to go.
He just gets fucking blown away.
Yeah, he
not
dies
even knowing
so
anything's
unserious
happening. He
moments.
just gets out like, "Ugh."
Yeah, dude.
was
He gets
bad.
a sniper straight to the
That's
chest.
that's right as it ends. The
That's
episode
that-
9,
yeah,
right?
that's episode 9's
His head
ending,
just
yeah.
gets blown up,
Yeah.
and then we hear more
What
shots.
a what a Breaking Bad moment, by
Yeah.
the way, of like the gunfight starts and the episode ends. Like, holy
I
shit,
can't
are you kidding
imagine
me?
then having to wait a week because I binged the last
Yeah, I had to
5
wait a week.
episodes
I had to
wait,
wait.
yeah.
in the last 2 days.
That's cool.
And it's wild.
Good show.
Good
yeah,
show.
no, I really
Good
enjoy it. Yeah, you guys should all watch it. Now it's time to tell you guys what is out on streaming platforms. Netflix, we've got Castlevania Season 3. On Amazon Prime, Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Ooh.
A movie that Nick and
I loved
Greg Miller loved.
We loved it.
Yeah. And then on Hulu, we have Swingers.
Great movie.
Yeah, all right, there you go. I thought that you'd have some thoughts
Your money,
there.
baby.
I need to watch Castlevania.
Your money.
man.
Yeah, me
Your money,
too.
you're so money you don't even know it.
Also, really quick, I don't know when it happened, but Space Jam came to Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's been like it just randomly because Netflix has been doing like this is like number 5 in the U.S. right now.
Yeah.
and it was at the top spot like the other day. I was like, when the fuck did this come
Did
to
you
Netflix?
watch it?
No, I'm trying to find time to watch it.
You heard
but-
about all the rumors for Space Jam 2?
Yeah.
For the last, 5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but like-
no. The new ones. They leaked some. There's some leaked screenshots that are like the Wicked Witch of the West.
It's
and
just a bunch of
Jim
WB
Carrey's
characters
mask
and-
and
That's cool.
some other masks.
the
It's
problem,
basically
Pennywise.
like Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
but
and then there
for-
was a rumor that
Whoa.
that this is a super deep rumor because those are screenshots in a tweet from like a screening.
like it's
day.
not just Looney Tunes, you know. I think
Then
that-
someone
like,
else on
cool.
some comic book thing got forwarded over to me that there's a rumor that they're gonna get Pattinson's Batman and Henry Cavill, and I'm like, no
Dude.
way, there's no way.
That'd be cool
It's a
though.
fucking, it would be very cool. It's a fucking
in the
lie.
in the
Don't-
Space Jam movie, they're gonna show
Here
off
we
the new
go.
Batman game. Apparently,
Don't do that.
Did you see the tweet today?
I quit.
Out in movie theaters near you, this week we've got Bloodshot. Woo! You know,
Vin
a
Diesel,
Vin
Vinny D
movie.
back
Did
at
anyone
it.
see that?
baby.
Yeah.
We were gonna go see it yesterday, but I was too tired.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you're missing much.
No, I don't think so either. The Hunt, which is a movie that was delayed from last year, I think.
Oh right, that was
Yeah.
the one. Yeah, where it's like the
It's a hard target.
the
basically.
Republicans are hunting like liberals or something
Pretty
like that,
much,
right?
yeah. And then Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always, a movie about what do you make?
I just hate titles like that.
Yeah, but it watch the trailer and it
That's
makes
such a
sense.
thing
It's,
Nick
it's,
would
it's
hate.
about a woman, a young girl getting an abortion, but they're illegal in the town that she's in, so she has to go to New York.
Oh, it's like
And the questionnaire
where you can't
asks,
dance in that one town.
Just
Yeah.
like
Footloose.
Footloose.
Just like foot,
the questionnaire
And
that she has to
Tremors.
fill out. That those are the answers for that.
fetus loose.
That's,
Anyways, the trailer looks really interesting.
Fetus
You guys should
loose.
check it out.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Greg.
No one.
horrible.
Pretty terrible.
No one wrote in for the bronze topic this week, so I guess you guys don't care about The Outsider.
Womp, womp, womp.
What is
If-
wrong with you?
If you guys want to give me your thoughts on A Quiet Place, that is the main focus of next week's episode. We're going to be talking about A Quiet Place 2 and A Quiet Place 1. So
Don't you just ever want to fucking grab Tim by the throat and be like, watch good TV, man?
Oh, bro.
We were talking about Watchmen.
so good.
We were talking about Watchmen.
I love that
Yeah,
you guys
Brian's
both
so
are just
good.
doing the
Fucking
stupid
Westworld.
crap.
He hadn't seen season 1. It's like I get if you don't want to watch season 2 of Westworld.
No, he's too
season
busy.
one's
You know
like-
why? Because he's too busy watching the fucking Bachelor season
Sick of it.
97.
Sick
they do
of it.
8 seasons of that show per fucking month.
guys, fuck Tim.
Fuck Tim. Fuck Tim. Fuck Tim. Fuck Tim. Fuck Tim. Fuck
New emote.
Just this
Gonna
will
make
be
a
our
new emote.
outro. Kill the lights, go to the movies, watch something good.
Bye, guys.
Fuck Tim.
Maybe.